And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I'm net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, best-sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would be just a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 2,000 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in this selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas. One aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the other aimed at 134 degrees. In addition, 2 of the 3 may be rotated separately. They are selected by a 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented resonant dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Miami to Montreal with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to a local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. Also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your loving guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this is an area of the band where we have many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. Again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, and now let's check in and see if Charlie K1GZL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation.
Here's Captain Mike as he approaches the very western edge of Cuba.
Air mobile, loud and clear, Charlie. You're about 5'9", 59 plus, and we're showing about 50 miles north of the Cuban shoreline right now. I'm trying to find a nearby city here, but we're just right now at 35,000 heading directly south. We're on a 180 heading. K1GZL with KX4 Whiskey Charlie. Up a little bit down there on the west antenna, but still Q5 there, Charlie. You're about a 5'7", 57 on the west, but you're definitely a 5'9" plus on the south antenna, so great copy on you there. And we're just north of Santa Clara, Cuba city out there on the 98 miles. The name here is Q.
Okay, there we are. How did that all come through, Jim? KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Yes, sir. I got Milford up just in the nick of time on that one, Roger.
Okay, did you lose anything earlier?
Just your intro to it, and it was just a little noisy. I think I was in Georgia, Roger.
Okay, well, the country is big. It is big. Well, you're doing very, very well. Very well. There's a little higher static level here, but it's not bad there, Jim. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll sign with you now, and I'll catch you next week, hopefully. And within about 3 or 4 weeks, I think Captain Mike will be flying back from Sacramento, California to Philadelphia and reverse. You'll probably be back on that line. This is just a temporary thing that is going more north and south, so to speak. So we'll say the very, very best, Jim. Thank you very much for allowing me to participate, and we'll hope that everybody's health will stay good, and the world's health will also get a lot better. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie, 73 up that way, sir. Thank you very much. And sorry we had that difficulty there. Sometimes Milford, I haven't been able to get a password to be able to log in and stay in, so I just am pedestrian to those guys, and sometimes they have rules and regulations, and I can't keep up with them, but I'm persistent about trying to check back in anyway. So 73, Charlie, and we'll catch you next week. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV. Just a reminder, my name is Jim, better known in some circles as Dr. VKV, and we're recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to our YouTube Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently featuring over 2,000 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This recording will be cut number 1 in the series. Regardless of what YouTube says, this recording will be cut number 1. And without further ado, let's move along and open the show. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Echo 9, November Delta.
Oh my God! What a signal! What a sound! Who is that?
Name here is Ken, Kilo Echo November, and I am in northern Indiana on the shores of Lake Michigan.
Roger, Ken. Come back with a call sign, please.
Kilowatt Echo 9, Notre Dame, KE9ND.
Roger, Roger. And Ken is KEN, Roger?
Yeah, KEN.
Roger, Roger. I have you, about 30 over on my local antenna. Just, I could see my antenna melting up there, Roger.
Okay. Yeah, running a Kenwood TS590 into a horizontal loop antenna fed by 600 ohm ladder line. Back to you there.
Roger, Roger. Well, I'm copying you on all three of my loop antennas about equally well, so I'm not exactly sure what that means. They're to start off with 0 degrees, one's at 90 degrees, and one's at 136 degrees, and you're pretty equal on all of them, Roger.
Yeah. Well, you're pounding in here as well. You're 20 over 9 on my meter here, so you're nice and strong over here.
Roger, looking at your audio curve, it's just beautiful. You have activity down to 25 cycles. You're almost zero level at 100 cycles, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Very good, yeah. I have a little bit of parametric EQ and a little bit of graphic EQ in here, so it's kind of a mixture.
Roger. Now, I do have a personal preference of just a little more top end. I don't know. I guess it's the difference between somebody coming up in the dynamic mic time and somebody coming up in the condenser mic time. You know, I always am looking for more top end articulation, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. All right, we added a touch more top end there, so that may be what you're looking for there.
Oh, exactly. When you have such a beautiful bottom end, you know you need to put that nice soft top end in there just to balance it off very nicely, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. That always helps. And I have the mid-range right around flat here, and then a little bit boosted a little on the bottom and a little on top. So just wondering how it sounds to you.
Oh, just excellent. You couldn't be better. You have my seal of approval. And if you would like to hear your beautiful audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to our YouTube Qso-Vlog page. And this will be a cut number 1 of a series of 2,000. Roger?
All right. We will do that for sure. I'm a big YouTuber, so we'll go on there and we'll do a search and we'll pick it up. So anyway, thank you very much, and we appreciate your what you're doing there. So 7-3, and back to you.
Roger, Ken. What was your location again?
I'm in Cherville, Indiana, which is up in the northwest tip of Indiana, right on the shores of Lake Michigan.
Oh, Roger. And the radio that you're running?
Running a Kenwood TS590S. Kenwood TS590S.
Beautiful radio, beautiful sound. Thanks for dropping by, Ken.
All right, well, thank you. 7-3.
Roger, and we'll have this posted by noon tomorrow. We'll have it up on YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger that. We'll check it out tomorrow and see how it sounds. So 73.
Roger, sir. And on our set, we have a spectrum analyzer that we're tied to. So you can see your audio on the spectrum analyzer, and good job. 73, Ken. We'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
KC9VKV from November Alpha 3 Papa, NA3P, over.
November Alpha 3, what was that? Come back with the call sign again, slowly, phonetically.
November Alpha 3 Papa, NA3P, NA3P. And we've talked before, but I have another radio here for you, over.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Let's see, and what's the name there?
The name is Dick, Delta India Charlie Kilo in Culpeper, Virginia, and I'm running a fairly new FT891 I got out of the box last week, over.
Roger. Okay, so why don't you give me about 10 seconds or so and tell me about your antenna system. And I'm copying you fairly well on my local antennas, but I'll move around on those and see if I can get a better copy. Roger?
Roger. You're 5.9 plus 10 to 20 over I'm just running barefoot right now to my end-fed wire, which is made by myantennas.com, an end-fed wire. And what I did shortly after I bought the radio, I went on YouTube and looked up some settings for the transmit equalizer, and it's quite extensive what you can set on this radio. There's quite a few options, but I set them to one of the options that a ham had come up with. But then earlier today or yesterday, I forget, I was talking to K2YM, and he said my lows were a little bit shallow, but I opened up the low cutoff on the external, on the internal equalizer from 300 to 100. But there's also a low cutoff switch on the microphone. Right now, my low cutoff switch is on the microphone, the stock mic. But anyway, I'm hoping it sounds okay to your ear and to your analyzer over there. Back to you, Jim. Over.
Roger, you are a little shy on the bottom end. It looks like you're rolling out about 250, 300 cycles, somewhere like that. Why don't you take that low roll switch off and let me hear you.
Okay, the switch is off now, and I know it opens up a lot more lows. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I flipped the low cutoff switch on the stock mic off, and it's in the normal position, or position 1, on the MH31. Over.
Roger. Seems to be activity around 200 cycles. You leave that, go back and put that switch on. Let's see. Do you have a power amp? I'm getting a little bit of noise there. You could solve that if you do have a little amp.
No, I don't have an amp connected to this radio. It's just barefoot at the moment. Over.
Roger, Roger. I just went to Milford, and you're just totally clean there. You're about 20 over. If you would like, go to your local, why don't we go through the setup procedure in general and then go to EQ. Our setup is generic in nature, starts with compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount, something you'll never hear on the air, but it does a little bit for getting us to the dynamic range of 3 dB, Roger.
Okay, let me, let's see, how do I go to the, it's going to take me a second to figure out where the processor level is. Over.
Roger, Roger. What about your ALC? Do you know where that is?
I'm in another menu right now. This thing is heavy menu driven. It's not as easy to use as some other radios. I'll tell you what, Jim, if you can just tell me generally how I sound rather than going through the whole procedure, because I'm having a little trouble going through the menu. I just can't navigate the menu right now very well. Over.
Yes, sir. Let me give you the setup procedure. You can take notes and do it at your leisure. Starts with the compressor engaged at a 3, token amount, but does what we need. So compressor on at a 3, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC by way of mic gain manipulation. Then move to your EQ. And from what I heard, I would suggest that you crank in the bottom end 3 clicks bass boost from where you are, and maybe 1 click more treble EQ from where you are. Roger?
Okay, I can know what the menu is. Just a minute here. I am going back to... Whoops, going the wrong way here. Where's my EQ? Okay. I went the wrong way, but here we go. Let's see here. Where did it go? So many menus on this thing. I'll tell you what, rather than taking up people's time, I will, I'm having a little trouble even finding where I just was on the EQs. There's so many menus in here, it's ridiculous, over.
Yes, sir. I understand exactly, and you probably haven't had that radio that long, Roger.
No, I haven't, but I had it set up where it was right on the EQs, and now, without, oh, wait a minute, there we are, I found them. Okay, I found the EQs here. Okay, EQ1 level, which is the lows. Let me click in that. I'm going to...
+3 bass boost.
Okay, I just took out 5 notches on the bass, over.
You took it out? No, put it in. Bass boost +3 from where you were originally.
Okay, bass boost +3. Boost, you want me to put more bass in or more bass out, over?
Bass boost, more bass. I'm trying to give you a little bottom end. When you took your low-pass mic filter, when you did that, it put too much of the, not the bottom end, but about 300 cycles, and it didn't sound good. So you have got your low roll on your microphone, so now we need to do a little EQ boosting of that bottom end. Roger?
Okay, I put 3 notches up on the bass, over.
Okay, and you sure you went positive? You sure you went boost on the... Is that a 3-band?
I went... It's probably got more than 3. Wait a minute. I can tell you in a minute. I'm on... Wait a minute. Let me go 3 on the... Wait a minute. Let me see how many bands it is this minute.
Hey, Dick.
Yeah, I'm still here. I can't move. I can't change the EQ settings while I'm transmitting. I have to be in receiver.
Okay, I just wanted to double check that you're in the 100 to 2900 band pass, Roger.
I am in the EQ1 level, which I set. The EQ1 is set at 100 right now. Over.
Yeah, not the EQ, but the band pass. You have probably 3 band pass positions. You want to be in the widest band pass, 100 to 2900, Roger?
I am in the 100 2900 TX band pass.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Good. Now, is that a 3-band EQ that you're running there?
I'll tell you in a minute. I believe it is EQ3. Yeah, it's 3 bands, over.
All right, so we want that mid-band flat. We want the middle band flat. Roger?
Okay, let me make it 0 just a minute.
Yeah, the whole idea of an equalizer is to balance the top to the mid-range and the bottom to the mid-range. And if we boost the mid-range, it's so much harder for the top and bottom EQs to catch up. So we want to be sure that the middle EQ is flat.
Okay, right now my EQ2 is 0. But then there's another one, EQ2 bandwidth, which I'm not 100% sure what that does, over.
So parametric, so it doesn't matter since that number 2 is flat. It doesn't matter what the bandwidth of it is. It's flat as flat, Roger?
Okay, well that's 0 right now, EQ2. But I can also set EQ2 frequency. Right now my EQ2 frequency is set at 1300, over.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's flat, Roger?
Okay, it's 0 right now, over.
Yes, sir. Now, let's go to the top. You have number 3, Treble EQ. Roger?
Yes, I do, over.
All right, increase that by 3 clicks. And let me hear you. 3-click boost on the Treble EQ.
Well, right now I've got it as high as it'll go. It's set at 10, over.
All right, what is the frequency and the width?
Frequency is 2300, and the width is 8. I think I can go higher than on the width, but its frequency is 2300, over.
All right, we want to go 2.5, 2.6, somewhere in there. 2.5 or 2.6 as far as the frequency of the Treble EQ, and we want to bring that width down to about a 4.
Okay, just a second here. I've got one more to go. Okay, frequency on EQ3 is 25, bandwidth is 4, over.
Yes, sir. Okay, now let's go to your bass EQ. EQ1, your bass. What is the frequency and the width?
The frequency is 100, and the width is 8, over.
All right, put the width at 4, and then go 3 clicks boost on that EQ. 3 clicks boost on the bass EQ. Roger?
Roger, roger. Give me a second here. Wait a minute. I think I got it messed up. Just a minute.
This is KC9VKV Friday afternoon, Qso-Vlog net. We're right now talking with Dick as he's going through his equalizer, shaking out all the cobwebs and getting everything copacetic.
Now give me that bass again. The bass. So what should I do again on the bass? Over.
All right, we want to increase the bass 3 clicks boost, but we want to move the broadness of it to a 4. So the bandpass of that EQ to a 4, and then plus 3 clicks boost. Roger?
Roger.
And I think you said you were at 100 cycles on that control.
That's correct. Give me a second here. Okay, what should I, on the EQ1, on the bass, what should I do with the width again? Over, I've increased three notches on the level, but I haven't changed the bandwidth. Over.
You want to move the bandwidth to a 4. Bandwidth to a 4, Roger?
Okay, I got it at 4 now. Over.
All right, then tell me in 10 seconds or so about your antenna system. Let me listen to you.
Okay, I'm running a myantennas.com end-fed wire. Let me do something here. I'm running a myantennas.com end-fed wire, 130 foot long. It's not really that high, but it does a good job for where it is. 12 feet on one end and 35 feet on the far end. And I've had really good luck with it. I've had this end-fed wire ever since I moved to this QTH over 4 years ago. And it's my only HF antenna at the moment. Am I sounding any better on your end, over?
Yes, sir. Try a 2 more clicks boost on that bottom EQ, plus 2 more clicks from where you are. Roger? Boost.
Okay, 2 more clicks up on the bass boost. 2 more clicks up on the bass boost, over.
Roger. I think that's pretty good. We could always get more bottom end, but, there's a lot of stuff that happens in the world, and not all of it is kind to the top end. Sometimes Mother Nature does phase inversions and bends the signal from more than one place out in space, and what happens is when she bends it from 2 places, the second place is a bit further out in space, and so when it bends back and comes back to roost, it many times can be out of phase with the original because, time from the bounce, can create phase cancellations. So here you have this beautiful audio spectrum transmission, and Mother Nature decides that she's going to play games and does a little phase inversion on half the signal, and there goes your top end. And so all you're left with is this beautiful bottom end that without the top end to support it, it just sounds like mud. So I'm not really in favor of getting a tremendous amount of bottom end just for that reason. Roger?
Yeah, roger that, Jim. So right now, you think it sounds essentially okay? I'm talking in the microphone sideways, where not directly into it, but along, parallel to it, like I'm not blowing into it. So you think it sounds generally okay on your end, over?
Yes, sir. I think it sounds really good. Your dynamic range is about 3 dB, which is where you want it to be. If you manage to get that compressor in there at a 3, that would be nice also. No more than a 3. And then after you put it in at a 3, go back and double check your ALC to be sure you're still running mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Roger. I think right now, I can't off the top of my head remember how to go into the compressor, but I think my compressor is at a 2 right now, but honestly, I can't remember how to go into it all. It's in, I think, at a 2 level right now.
Roger, it looks good. I mean, your whole signal, and it's not very high compression because I would be hearing a little suck up between the words. So there's no suck up. So you're in the ballpark right now, Roger.
Hey, well, anyway, I appreciate it. I've listened to my other YouTubes that you made of me on my other rigs. I got a whole bunch of radios, as you probably know. All kinds of radios here in the shack, and this is my latest edition, but
frequencies in use, please.
These radios set and then forget them. Everybody's got their opinion about what audio sounds like and how it sounds, but once I set it, I forget it because honestly, me personally, I'm ex-military and I have a VA disability for hearing, so don't ask me to check my audio. I can't, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, the main thing is we get it squared away and then Sadie bar the door, you're... it's the thing is the whole idea behind radio is to communicate words from one point to the other. So as long as we keep good articulation, and that's what I try to do as far as setups, get the articulation level up and get enough of the bottom end that you are nice and full, not flat necessarily, but full, so you're not all upper mids, and then get that dynamic range down to about a 3 dB, and the difference is unprocessed audio has about a 10 dB dynamic range with an average of 30% of peak modulation, average 30% of peak modulation, and what we do is take that 10 dB signal and try to pull it down to 3 dB dynamic range, and that 3 dB, your average percent of peak modulation is 80 to 85%. So you're just as fat as you can be. Now we could take that 3 dB up to 2 dB or 1 dB. What happens though, after you pass 3 dB dynamic range, the words start to blur, and you begin to defeat the main purpose of intelligibility. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Well, you've got a lot more hardware on your end to analyze signals, so I appreciate your help. I really don't have the equipment to do it, and sometimes I'll listen to an SDR receiver and listen to my audio, but I never really seem to succeed in what I'm doing. But yeah, thanks a million for helping me out. This FT891 has a tremendous amount of transmit features you can get in there and adjust, which is pretty amazing. Pretty modern radio, I guess, but man, it's got a lot of menus. I hate menus, but you know, what are you going to do with a mobile-sized radio? It's just a little mobile-sized radio. It's got a few buttons and 3 knobs, and that's it, over.
Yes, sir, and about 1.5 inches manual to cover all of the menus.
Well, yeah, the manual, it's pretty mind-boggling, this radio. This is probably one of the more menu-driven radios I've ever handled. Well, there's another radio I have, another Yaesu, FT818, that's got a lot of menus, but man, these menus drive you nuts, over.
Roger. Well, sounds good now, sir, and if you get a chance, follow up on that compressor. No major thing, because you're a real bar park now as far as where it's setting. So let me say threes to you. We'll have this uploaded to YouTube by tomorrow noon. If you go to YouTube, do a call letter search, Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. KC9VKV logbook, and that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 of 2000 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Well, thanks a million, Jim, and I will definitely listen to my audio here in the next couple days. So thanks a million. This radio is pretty confusing for a newcomer to it, but you helped me out there quite a bit and appreciate it. I'll clear up the frequency and let you guys carry on with more stations there. KC9VKV from NA3P.
Roger, Dick 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance to join us next Friday. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Charlie.
Somebody started Kilo Charlie something and then kind of faded out. Station calling. Come back and try it again.
Kilo Charlie 9, Tango November Delta.
November Delta station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign, please.
Kilo Charlie 9, Tango November Delta.
I got Kilo Charlie 9, what was the after 9?
It's Kilo Charlie 9, Tango November Delta.
All right, what's the name there?
Name here is Josh, thank you.
Is it Josh?
John, Juliet Oscar Hotel November.
All right, John, I have been kibitzing here, and I have let Milford do me under here, so I've got to bring Milford back up here and see if I can get back in the ball game. Milford is a nice little SDR that just seems to be at the right place at the right time. All right, John, come back and tell me about your antenna system for about 10 seconds.
KC9 system is a KC9 TND. My antenna system is a homebrew multi. It's a homebrew 130 foot off-center fed dipoles that I manufactured myself. Who made it? Over.
Alrighty, I found you down in Georgia, John. I'm monitoring you down in Georgia. So, what is the radio that you're running?
Georgia. So, what is the radio that you're running?
That's an error. My call sign is Kilo Charlie 9 Tango November Delta, and I'm located in central Indiana. I'm running an ICOM 7300, over.
Roger, Roger. And it is John. Is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger. And it is John. Is that a Roger?
Roger.
Okay, John, let's go through the setup procedure if you would like. It starts with you engaging your compressor at a 3, a token amount. You'll never hear it on the air, but it helps in us achieving a 3 dB dynamic range at the end of the setup. So, compressor on at a 3, Roger?
Range at the end of the setup. So, compressor on at a 3, Roger?
Roger, Roger. It is on at 3. Mic gain is 40%, over.
All right, let's go to your... hello there, ALC, brain freeze, I think. You go to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your mic gain into your ALC. ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Into your ALC. ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3.
1, 2, 3. ALC is running approximately where you're asking, over.
Roger. Sounds like your compressor might be hot. Are you at a 3 on your compression level?
Compressor might be hot. Are you at a 3 on your compression level?
Roger, Roger. Compression is set at 3.
Alrighty, and you just did your ALC mid-scale to 2/3, Roger?
Alrighty, and you just did your ALC mid-scale to 2/3, Roger?
That is correct. Mid-scale to 2/3, over.
Alrighty, I want you to go to your transmit EQ, sideband transmit EQ, and I want you to go +3 clicks, treble boost from where you are. +3 clicks boost, treble EQ from where you are.
From where you are. +3 clicks boost, treble EQ from where you are.
Treble EQ is now set to +5. +5, over. It was at +2.
Roger, so you're maxed out. And what, out of curiosity, what mic are you using?
Roger, so you're maxed out. And what, out of curiosity, what mic are you using?
I'm using a Heil ProSet IC headset.
Okay, what I would suggest is take that boom mic, depending on how much control you have over it, I would move that boom straight out as far as you can get it, and then at the last minute make a 90-degree turn. Roger?
As you can get it, and then at the last minute make a 90-degree turn. Roger?
Roger, Roger. I now have it as far out as I can get it, and it's offset a little bit to the left of my mouth, over.
Yes, sir. Okay, now, back on your EQ, why don't you do a +2 clicks bass boost. +2 clicks bass boost from where you are.
+2 clicks bass boost from where you are.
Bass is now set at +2. Treble is set at +5, over.
All right, and John, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to just key your mic for about 3 seconds and don't say anything, just for about 3 seconds, Roger?
For about 3 seconds, and don't say anything, just for about 3 seconds, Roger?
Roger.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with that compressor. It seems to be very active for just being at a 3. Double check that, sir. I know it sounds crazy, but it sounds like about a 7 or an 8 compression level. I mean, it really is sucked up to almost 0 level. So double check to be sure that your compression is at a 3 level, Roger?
To be sure that your compression is at a 3 level, Roger?
Roger, hold one. Comp is set at 3, over.
All right, take that compression level down to a 1, John. Take it down to a 1, Roger.
Take that compression level down to a 1, John. Take it down to a 1, Roger.
Roger. Compression is now set at 1, over.
All right, and name me another dead key for 3, roger.
All right, and name me another dead key for 3, roger.
Roger.
All righty then. It came up a little bit, but not that much. And in a normal conversation, I think it would be fairly well. Just don't take any long pauses, John, because you got the compressor coming up. Matter of fact, I tell you what, just take the compressor out. Let me hear you with the compressor out.
Matter of fact, I tell you what, just take the compressor out. Let me hear you with the compressor out.
Compressor is now set at 0, over.
All right, John, now give me a dead key for 3.
All right, John, now give me a dead key for 3.
Okay, I'm seeing a little activity. I want you to go and double-check your AOC level. Now, the thing is, when you check your AOC level, you can't just go 1, 2, 3, because the AOC meter never has a chance to accurately reflect what it's doing. So you have to go expedited delivery 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. That will get that AOC meter up, and you can more accurately see what it's doing, roger? And what you want to do is bring that AOC meter up to where it's running mid-scale to 2/3 by way of a mic gain control. Adjust the mic gain control until your AOC is running mid-scale to 2/3 as you speak 100, 200, 300 on your microphone.
Third, as you speak 100, 200, 300 on your microphone.
100, 200, 300.
Alrighty, and let's look at that one more time, just a little bit faster, John. I'm serious about that because you got to get that meter up to be able to see it what it's accurately doing.
You got to get that meter up to be able to see it what it's accurately doing.
100, 200, 300. ALC is at approximately half, about 50%, over.
Roger. Now we're looking for slightly over that, mid-scale to 2/3. So slightly over mid-scale, roger?
At mid-scale to 2/3. So slightly over mid-scale, roger?
Roger that. I have now increased my gain to 45. 1, 2, 3, and I'm now looking at approximately, maybe about 60%, over.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. And I think your EQ sounds good too, John.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. And I think your EQ sounds good too, John.
Roger. Thank you for your help. I really appreciate it, over.
Roger. Just out of kicks, put that compressor back in at a 1 and let me hear you.
Put that compressor back in at a 1 and let me hear you.
Okay, compressor is now at 1. Mic gain is up to 50%, over.
Okay, keep everything tranquil now. Give me a dead key for 3.
Okay, keep everything tranquil now. Give me a dead key for 3.
Roger.
Okay, John, when I say dead key, I mean no audio, because what happens is as soon as you speak, you force the compressor out of its normal recovery thing. So just give me a dead key for 3 and not say anything in that area.
So just give me a dead key for 3 and not say anything in that area.
Yes, Roger, perfectly done. That's the way to do that, and take that compressor out.
Perfectly done. That's the way to do that, and take that compressor out.
Yeah, disconnect your compressor. Compressor off.
Yeah, disconnect your compressor. Compressor off.
Right, compressor is off.
Yes, I think you'll sound a lot better without that. I'm not exactly sure why it is so sensitive. Usually a 3 is not even detectable, so I'm not real sure about that. But anyway, I think you sound a lot better with the compressor off. Roger?
Anyway, I think you sound a lot better with the compressor off. Roger?
Roger. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir, John, and if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page on YouTube. Again, it's KC9VKV logbook. and that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. This will be cut number 1 of 2000, and regardless of what YouTube says, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Regardless of what YouTube says, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger, Roger. Thank you so much. I'll take a listen. I appreciate the help.
Roger, John, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. KC9 Victor Kilo Victor from Whiskey 9 Kilo Charlie Whiskey.
Kilo Charlie Whiskey. What's the name? Come back one more time phonetically with the call sign again.
Whiskey. What's the name? Come back one more time phonetically with the call sign again. The call is Whiskey 9 Kilo Charlie Whiskey W9 KCW. The name here is Tony Tango Oscar November Yankee.
Roger, Tony, and whereabouts are you, sir?
Roger, Tony, and whereabouts are you, sir? I'm in southwest Indiana, southwest just outside of Evansville, Indiana. I spoke with you a couple weeks ago when I was, wasn't really in tune with to achieve the parametrics, the 3-channel parametrics off this 101 Delta, so I felt bad speaking to you. Since then, listening to you, I've done some work, and I'm running the Heil 781 microphone, just the 70 watts out of the radio into a double bazooka, QSO.
Roger, I've got you on my local antenna, on my dipole, and what I want you to do is go to your EQ. First off, which radio is it you're running?
I'm running the FTDX 101 Delta, FTDX 101 Delta, and wanted to record some of the settings. I haven't wrote these down, but I have worked on it. Did a lot of work on the 3-channel parametrics on this rig.
Yes, it's looking good. Just to double check some of the settings, are you running your compressor engaged at a 3, Roger?
Yes, GSL, running the compressor.
Roger, at a 3, Roger?
Roger, at a 2.
Close enough. Okay, and then on your ALC, why don't you go to check that, mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your... Hang on just a minute here. Hello, audio check, 1, 2. Audio check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, close enough. Double check your ALC reading by going to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your ALC to where it's running mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Roger, okay. 100, 200, 300. 100, 200, 300. I am at 2/3.
Yes, and that last way, you just did a beautiful check. That's the way to do it, exactly. All right, now I want you to go to your EQ.
Okay, we're sitting here on the EQ, on transmit audio, and the first parametrics. I have EQ frequency, EQ level, and EQ bandwidth on parametrics 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, so you're running a parametric 3-band EQ. Roger. So what we want is that mid-range EQ to be flat. That mid-range EQ to be flat. Roger?
Okay. AMC release time is a mid. Parametrics EQ1 frequency is at 100 hertz.
Your mid-range EQ, flat. Roger?
Okay, yes, we have it.
Okay, so mid-range flat, then I want you to go to your treble EQ, and what frequency and what width?
Width is a 2, frequency is 100.
That's your base. You go to your top end, the other way.
Okay, it's going to be 1,000 on the EQ2, 1,000 hertz, bandwidth 2.
The top, treble, number 3, way at top there, the top one, what band pass and what frequency.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, frequency 2900, level 10, bandwidth 2.
All right, I want you to pull that band pass down to a 4, the width to a 4. Roger, roger. Hello, Tony.
Okay. Yep. Have a bandwidth to the 4. Bandwidth to a 4.
Yes, sir. Now I want you to move that frequency down to 2.6K. Move your frequency down to 2.6K on that control.
Okay, we're at 2.6.
Alrighty, now why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system.
Okay, real fine. Antenna system is a double bazooka, radio waves double bazooka. It is up approximately 40 feet, flat topped, here in southwest Indiana, and running the Howl PR781 microphone, QSL.
Roger, roger, Tony. Okay, now I want you to go to your base. That's the bottom one there. I want you to tell me what the bandwidth is and what the frequency is.
Okay. My next parametric starts with the P parametrics, which is processor, so I have to go the other way, QSL.
We're just on the top, so I want you to go bypass the middle EQ and go to the bottom EQ. Roger?
You need to adjust the P parametric.
Okay. All right, on the P, on the parametrics EQ1 frequency, I'm at 100. Parametrics EQ2 frequency is at 1,000.
Yes, we're just going to do with that base EQ at 100 cycles. What is the width? What is the width of that?
2. Width is 2. Level is 0.
All right, we want to increase the width to a 4. Want to increase the width to a 4, Roger?
Okay, we did increase the width to a 4.
Alrighty, now I want you to increase the push on the base EQ by 3 clicks. 3 clicks boost the base EQ from where you are.
Okay, there's 3 clicks. 3 clicks on the EQ frequency, QSL.
That's the 100 cycle EQ, Roger?
Yes, I was at 100, I'm at 400.
No, not the frequency. Go back. The frequency should be 100 cycles. Frequency should be 100 cycles, Roger?
Okay, 100 cycles. We're there, QSL.
All right, now the width of it should be 4. A width of 4 on that control, Roger?
Roger, QSL. We're width at 4.
All right, now I want you to boost that control by 4 clicks. 3 clicks. 3 clicks base boost from where you are, Roger?
Okay, we've got 3 clicks on the level, the boost there, QSL.
Alrighty, now I want you to tell me the thing you like best about your radio.
I love the receiver. The receiver on the FTDX101 is fantastic with the attenuation and the VC tune. The VC tune allows for you to really shift any disturbing local interference and move it away from the frequency to itself.
Roger. Okay, one more click on that bass boost. One more click bass boost. Roger?
Okay, one more click on the bass boost. Running processor at 2 and 2/3 on ALC. Moving that up one more click there, QSL.
Alrighty. So, and your bandpass, your bandwidth for that 100 cycle control is a 4. Roger?
Roger. It was started out on a 2, and I did move that to a 4.
All right, now I want you to go to the other end of the EQ, back to the treble control, way up top. Roger? That's the one that's reading 2.6K?
Yes, okay.
Alrighty, I want you to increase that by 2 clicks additional. 2 clicks additional treble boost from where you are on that control.
Okay, that's moved that 2 clicks. 2 clicks up, 2-8, QSL.
Roger, and gosh, why don't you tell me, why don't you give me a radio story if you got one?
Okay, well, started out many years ago, 20 years ago, running a lot of the ICOM radios. Some of the older ones, even back before then, the Tempo 1. My goodness, the first rig bought was the old Tempo 1 for $75 back in the day. So over the years, very fortunate to upgrade to the new equipment, the new radios, and able to move up in the class and finally succeed with the extra class license. Anyway, you have a great signal from your station. Just trying to boost this audio, get this loudness and clarity out of this microphone is 781 into the FTDX 101 Delta QSL.
Roger. Okay, now I want you to, anytime that you substantially increase your EQ, particularly on the low frequencies, you need to go back to your AOC, double check your AOC level, because the EQ will affect your level. So go back to your AOC, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your mic gain into your AOC read Smith scale to 2/3.
Okay, audio, we're going to talk 100, 200, 300, 100, 200, 300, 100, 200, 300, QSL.
Roger, so you're mid-scale, just slightly over mid-scale now, Roger?
Roger, slightly over mid-scale.
Alrighty, now how much EQ do you have left on your top-end boost, your treble boost? How much EQ do you have left?
You might have to direct me a little bit there on the top end.
Okay, Tony, that's 2.6K, that's the one. How much gain boost do you have left on that? In other words, what is the setting now, and how much more do you have that you could crank in?
Okay, right now we're at 2.8. Let me look at that here real quick.
No, you should be at 2.6. You should be we're talking treble EQ, and we're talking the frequency of the treble EQ. It should be at 2.6, Roger.
Jim, QSK.
I'm sorry?
Jim, this is K4SOB. I don't mean to interrupt, but when you have that processor on these Yazoos, when you adjust the EQ, you have to adjust the P parametric, not just the parametric EQ, Roger.
All right, Tony, take your compressor off. Do away with the compressor. Compressor off at the moment.
Okay, the compressor is off at the moment right now.
Alrighty, so now we're back to that top end. It should be a 2.6K, and how much boost do you have left on that 2.6K? In other words, do you have a plus 10 or plus 15 headroom, and where are you now on moving towards that top end?
I have the parametric EQ1, EQ2, EQ3. I'm looking at that. Not able to find that where I need to be for that treble.
All right, it's number 3, the top. It should be at 2.6K. In other words, the bottom is 100 cycles, mid-range is 1K, 1,000 cycles, and it should be off. It should be plus or minus nothing. And then the next one is your treble control, and it should be 2.6. That's where we had it. Do you get a different reading now that you have the compressor off?
No, it's not a different reading. That level, I'm maxed out on that level right now.
Gosh, I thought we were doing fairly well there with the compressor on. You do really need that, but if you put the compressor on and then tell me what you have on that 2.6K control.
Okay. The 2.6K, I'm not able to find that right now. Here, let me look here.
All right, you have 3-band EQ. You have a bottom EQ, which is 100 cycles. You have a mid-range, which is 1K, or 1,000 cycles. And then you have a top end, which should be 2.6. I think you originally started, it was a 4K or something, but it should be 2.6K. That's the highest one, Roger?
Roger. Mine is, I'm looking at the frequency, the EQ3 frequency. Qso.
Okay, what is it?
2.8.
All right, bring that to 2.6. 2.6. Roger?
Okay, all righty. Got her down to 2.6.
All righty. Now, why don't you give me? Why don't you go through your antenna system again for about 10 seconds so I can hear your audio, Roger?
Okay. Real fine there, Jim. Yeah, the antenna system, feeding it, we are feeding this system, this double bazooka, radial waves with the 213, fed directly with the 213 into the shack, strung up, flat topped out at about 40 feet there, Qso.
Roger, and your compressor is on at 2, Roger?
Roger, yes, the compressor is on at this time.
My job is done here, Tony. I think you're excellent. I think you're right there, beautiful EQ. Your dynamic range is 3 dB. So, gosh, what more could you want, Roger?
Roger. Okay, excellent. I really do appreciate it, Jim. I have been, want to really get this audio set up and get it boosted off this. Some of these radios are a little bit different, this 3-band Equalizer system, but the 781 seems to really perform and give that full broadcast audio. So I do thank you much, KC9 Victor Kilo Victor from W9KCW.
Roger, Tony, and if you would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. That's on a YouTube search, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, logbook, and that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. This will be cut number 1 of 2000, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your help. Very much. I do appreciate it, Jim. 73s, have a great weekend up there. Have a fine rest of your day. KC9 Victor Kilo Victor from W9KCW.
Roger, Tony. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Hey, Jim, real quick, this is NA3P again. I finally figured out where my compressor level and my mic gain was, and I put my compressor from 2 to 3, and I cranked back my mic gain from 50 to 40 over.
And that's according to your ALC, Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I right now I'm about, like you say, about 2/3 on the ALC over.
Alrighty, and did we work on your EQ there?
Yeah, we went all the way through the EQ, but I finally was able to boost up the processor a little bit, and I turned back the mic gain a little bit to keep the ALC from going too far over.
Roger, it just feels a little differently now. It feels like you might need a little more bottom end. If you go to your EQ, crank in 2 clicks, boost bass EQ, and let me hear it.
Okay, give me a second here.
And be very consistent about the way you work the microphone. You know, it's amazing how if you're not consistent, there's two things that happen. If you vary the proximity to your microphone, your level's going to shift and your EQ is going to shift because you're dealing with proximity effects. So you want to be very consistent about the distance that you work your microphone.
Okay, I boosted the bottom end EQ by 2 notches, over.
Alrighty, tell me about your antenna system in about 10 seconds.
Okay, my antenna is a myantennas.com, end-fed wire, 130 feet long, averaging out about 25 feet above ground level. Not real high, but the best I can do with my tree in the backyard here. And it seems to do a pretty good job. Tunes on 80 through 10 with the exception of 60 meters, over.
Roger that. And if you still have your EQ page open, do about 2 clicks boost on the top end. Is that a parametric?
Yes, it is. It's a 3-level, and you say, how many clicks on the top end again, over?
Okay, so before we do that, that is a parametric. In other words, you have the top end, and then you have the width and the frequency adjustable on that, Roger?
Oh, Roger, over.
Is that correct?
That is correct, over.
Okay, so on your Treble EQ, you want to pull that EQ frequency to 2.6 K on the Treble EQ, Roger?
2.6, over.
Alrighty, and you want a width of 4, Roger?
Okay, I got EQ3, a width of 4, over.
Alrighty, and I want you to increase that by 3 clicks. 3 clicks boost Treble EQ from where you are there.
Which one? The width of the level again? I'm over.
The level. I want you to boost the level 3 clicks. In other words, leave your frequency where it is, leave your width where it is, and the other one is your level control. Advance it 3 clicks from where it is.
Okay, it's let's see, testing 1, 2, 3. 3 clicks. Does that sound any better, over?
That sounds right. Maybe you went 3 clicks boost from where you were, Roger?
Yes, I did, but it's a little confusing here because when the processor's on, there's 2 separate EQs. There's an EQ3 and there's a processor EQ3. Right now I'm on 7. The maximum is 10. Over.
Roger. I think we're there, Roger. I mean, I think you got it going there. Give me a radio story for about 10 or 15 seconds, and let me listen to you.
Okay, I just recently got this FT891, Yaesu FT891, unboxed it last week, and I was originally going to put it in my pickup truck, mobile. Right now we're just playing with it in the shack. I may leave it in the shack for a while, I don't know. But anyway, it's a nice little radio, lots of menus, too many menus for this old ham. I've been a ham for 50 years, so menus and me don't get along too well, over.
Roger. I think we got it, sir. I think that's sounds a lot better than where we were. And again, if you want to listen to it, go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that will take you to this recording. Roger?
Okay, Jim. Well, thanks again. And I finally figured out where the ALC and the mic gain were on this thing. So many menus. Wow, it makes your head spin over.
Roger, what I would suggest would be to make a cheat sheet, about a 10-number cheat sheet of all the vital places, and then you can go right to them without having to crack the book. Roger?
Yeah, well, the meter has got a selection of power output, ALC, blah, blah, blah. Then you have to dig in there for the other mic gains in there somewhere. I would probably eventually remember where all this stuff is. But anyway, I have the manual sitting here right next to the radio, so it is a very menu-intensive radio, but it's a nice radio, really nice for the price. It runs in about the $650 range for retail price. It's a really nice radio for the money.
Roger that. Well, that cheat sheet will tell you, what it is and how to get to it in your language. So you can refer to that when you need to go somewhere, and you know what things mean when you say go here, there, left, right, or whatever. So it's your menu for most things, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. I probably need to do that with this radio, especially this one and my ST818. I've actually figured out the 818, but this one here, my learning curve is still up there, and there's a lot more menus in this one. Over.
Yeah, roger that. Alrighty, sir, 73, and we'll catch you maybe next week if you get a chance, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Well, thanks again for the help, and I finally got all this thing tweaked, I think. And I did listen to my SDR, and it sounded really good on the SDR receiver coming in from Pennsylvania. 73, KC9VKV from NA3P.
Roger, Dick 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And gosh, we are 7 minutes headed towards 5 and pumpkin time, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. There's a hotel station out there. Hotel station. Come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Roger, kilowatt 4, Hotel Echo Whiskey. Roger.
Roger. And what's the name?
The name here is Joe, Juliet Oscar Echo. We're over in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Roger, Joe, and you're in your mobile home?
That's me. Guilty as charged. Running the 7300 on a quarter-wave vertical on the back ladder.
Sounds really good. Why don't you, if you got a radio story handy, why don't you give me a radio story and let me listen to you?
Some of the best reports I've had, and checking in on the net down there in the mornings, because Florida seems to be the best connection, and that's probably because it's over a lot of ocean. I imagine the RF skips right across that ocean, 500-mile skip. But I get very good reports around the East Coast here on this radio.
Roger, Joe. Now, you might be a little hot into your ALC. Why don't you bring your ALC up and go 1, 200, 100, 200, 300 with mic gain in hand, and bring your ALC level to mid-scale to 2/3.
Alrighty, let me do that. Mic gain is at 50. And ALC testing 1, 2, Marietta Little Lamb. Hanging right at 50. ALC right at 0.5 or 50%, Roger.
Alrighty, let's review your compressor is at a 3, Roger.
And compression is at a 3, that is correct, yes.
Alrighty, and let me just hear you again for about 5 seconds or so.
Okay, and the rig here is a 40-foot motorhome with a quarter-wave vertical antenna, the Eagle 1, mounted on the rear ladder, which is grounded to the chassis of the motorhome. Roger,
okay. I'll bring that compressor down to a 1. Bring it to a 1, and let me hear you there, Roger.
Okay, compression is at 1, and the same story. We're in the motorhome, 40-foot long, with the quarter-wave vertical mounted on the rear ladder. And that is grounded to the chassis of the coach, Roger.
Alrighty, and you're looking at your ALC and your mid-scale to 2/3?
That is correct.
Roger, it looked a little like about 2 dB, so I was trying to get it back to 3 dB. You know, what happens is when you pass 3 dB of dynamic range, it starts to blur, and sometimes, the words need a little life. They need a little curve of dynamics to be able to perceive the words, and I thought your words might be just a little smashed, Roger.
Oh, Roger that. Is that a function of ALC?
It can be. It could be. Why don't you take your compressor out and let me hear you without the compressor?
All right, compressor is off right now, and that's the same. Everything else is the same. How's that sound?
Okay, you have plenty of dynamics on that, so put your compressor back in at a 1 and let me hear you.
Pressing on at a 1, and ALC is still right at about 50%.
Alrighty, that's the hand mic. Is that a Roger?
The mic I'm using actually is a wireless Plantronics 720 Vox-operated wireless headset with a boom mic on it, Roger?
Yes, sir. Okay, dump your compressor on your radio and let me hear you again.
Okay, take the compression off. There, it's off, and eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Mary had a little lamb. How's that sound?
Yeah, I would go with that. You know what's happening here? You have electronics in front of your microphone. In other words, you have a transmitter-receiver situation, and you're getting some compression through the transmit-receive cycle. Not much, but a little bit. And so with your local compressor off, that kind of makes up for the additional squash that you get from your mic link, Roger?
Let's see if I understand all that. It's a Bluetooth connection. I'm sitting about 2 feet from the radio. You're saying it's getting feedback, audio feedback, Roger?
No. I'm talking about, anytime you transmit a signal and you receive a signal, there's a certain compromise in the dynamics of it. There's a certain squish that happens. Even though it's not intentional, it does squish a little bit of the dynamics. So what I'm saying is, because of that, then just not use your radio compressor, because you're getting a slight amount of that in your radio system, the microphone going into your radio, Roger?
I do understand that. Okay. So leave the compressor off. And mic gain's at 50. ALC stays pegged right at about 50. It goes 40 to 50 as I speak, but does not go over 50. It's as if it is clipped right there, Roger?
Yes, sir. So when you go into your adjustment for 50, go in slowly so you can see exactly where it stops, and so you don't go past the point. So just come, as you're adjusting your mid-scale, come up very slowly to where, you see what's happening before you overshoot it, Roger.
Roger, I know what you're saying. I have never overshot it, though. It's as if it will not let me go over that threshold at 50%.
Roger. Well, what it's doing, it's reading the audio after the limiter. So what happens is, the limiter is going to keep it at a certain point, and you can continue on turning your mic gain up, but that limiter is going to keep it right there. And what happens, though, is that your words start to squish as that limiter is determined to keep it there, and you keep increasing your mic gain. So what I'm saying is just come up easy to that mid-scale point so you can tell where it is without overshooting it, Roger.
Okay, in the next minute or so left, can I turn my mic gain down to 10, and then we'll try it on the air and see what happens?
Sounds perfect where it is. I'm not sure what you were wanting to test.
Mic gain. Right now, mic gain is at 50%, 50. I'd like to set it back to like 10% and then approach 50. As I do, I'm watching my ALC.
Yes, and I'm seeing it didn't go particularly forward. So try to do it again and be consistent with your words as you come up and down, Roger.
Hey, Roger. Okay, I'm at, mic gain is at 10,
ALC is about 25%. I'm going to go to 25% mic gain right there. ALC is peaking at 50, going down to about 40, and if I go mic gain at 50% right there, I'm looking at about the same, 45 to 50. I could turn the mic gain wide open, and it would still limit it right at about 50% ALC. Roger?
Roger. I would put that mic right on 45. Mic right on 45. Roger?
Okay, it's on 45 right there, and it appears the same on the ALC, 40 to 50%, and it will not go over that.
All right, just out of curiosity now, when I want to keep that mic at 45, put that compressor back in and let me hear you.
Okay, compressor is back on now. It's at a 1. The level is 1. Roger?
All right, and a dead key for 3. Give me a dead key, don't say anything, and let me look at it. Oh, that's great. That did not have much suck up at all. So I would try to. Why don't you tell me something I don't know for 10 seconds, and let me listen to you with the compressor on.
All right, the compressor is on, and we're getting ready to take a trip here next spring. We're going to head out to Houston, Texas for an RV trip, and about a 1,200-mile trip each way. So that should be a good exercise for the motorhome and for the driver as well. Roger?
Roger. Now take the compressor off and give me another little bit there.
All right, compressor is off, and we'll be taking the trip sometime later on in April, and that should be a good exercise for the RV. Roger?
Roger, Joe. It sounds so much better without the compressor, so just leave that compressor off. And if you want to check your audio and our kibitzing and adjustments here, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Oh, roger that, Jim. Yeah, I sure appreciate the help. You sound quite a bit more trebly on this episode today. I'm just wondering what you changed. Also, I do have a question. If the station I was listening to is wider than 3 kc, that is 3.5 or even 4, it's not illegal, but could that cause splashover on adjacent frequencies?
Most definitely. Most definitely. That's why I recommend running the radios at 100 to 2900. If you go exceed 2900, you'll have people coming looking for you with pitchforks.
Well, fortunately, I cannot do that on this radio. It goes to 2900, and that's all you get. But some fellows adjacent on 95, 7195 are running almost 4 kcs wide. Beautiful audio, but it's just splashing down. They say, no, it cannot be. This is and I don't know, the 7,000, whatever, adjustable, expensive radios, and they set them up to sound broadcast quality, except that bandwidth is way too wide, I think. But anyway, I digress. I just wanted your opinion.
Yes, sir. Well, 100 to 2900. If you can't do it in 2900, you need to go check some other stuff out, because 2900 is plenty band pass to be able to get a nice EQ curve going for top-end articulation. If you can't do it, then there's a problem. And if you, like I say, if you go to 4KC, you're just going to piss a lot of people off.
That's exactly what's happening. I'm in that control station on the RV service net Saturday mornings, and I try to maintain integrity on the bandwidth. At any rate, hey Jim, thanks for the help, and I'll be listening on the recorded version to see what this rig sounds like. Sure appreciate your help. Have a great weekend. 73 K4HEW.
Roger, Joe. 73, sir. And you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And that's going to wrap it up for us. Since 3:30, we've been moving along here and listening to folks and making some setup adjustments. Hopefully, we managed to make an improvement in a few situations. But we got to get out of here now. We've got to return this frequency back to average, normal, everyday amateur use. got to get out of here, so we'll say 73, and this is a KC9VKV clear.
Jim, you on the 7300?
Charlie Tango Papa. This is David in Tennessee. Before you go, just wanted to say hello.
David, hello, sir.
Yeah, this is, I'm up here in Athens, Tennessee there. We're running the 7300.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, the quick setup for that 7300 is compressor engaged at a 3. And then move to your ALC. ALC with mic gain in hand, adjust to mid-scale to 2/3 as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300. Roger?
Yes, sir. That's where we've got it there. And the treble is on 3, the bass is on 2, and mic gain's on 40, and the compressor's on 3. They're over.
Yes, sir. Sounds really good. You can hear it if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. That will, on a YouTube search, that will take you to this recording. Roger?
Hey, okay. One question down there at the bottom where the scope's at. It goes from 2.5K all the way up to 500. Where should that be set?
You should be running your bandpass at 100 to 2900. I'm not really sure about the meter, but you have a 3-position bandpass setting, and you should put all of those 3 in the 100 to 2900 position. Roger?
Yes, sir. That's where I've got it. But this is on the front of the scope. It's on the corners there, and it's got 2 5K on each side there. It goes all the way up to 500K.
Roger, Roger. Sounds like a receive thing to me. I'm only in transmit, Roger.
Okay. All right, Rascal, we'll let you go. And we're just using the regular hand mic that came with the 7300 and using the G5RV for 80 and 40, and then I've got a hex beam for the rest of it. They're over.
Yes, sir. Sounding good. You're working the mic just ideally, perfectly. And give me your call sign again, please.
That's Kilo Oscar 4. Charlie Tango Papa, David, in Athens, Tennessee, which is McMinn County.
And that's a 7300?
Yes, sir, it's 7300.
Sure, David. Well, let me say 73, sir. Sounding good. If you want to hear it again, go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. We'll take you to this recording, and we'll have it uploaded on YouTube by noon tomorrow.
Okay, Rascal. Definitely do appreciate it, and I've been listening to you for over close to an hour, I guess, somewhere in that area, but don't find too many people that would get on there and take their time to do that to help other people. So I'll say 73s to you and your family, and may God bless and take care. David in Athens, Tennessee, Kilo Oscar 4, Charlie Tango Papa.
Roger, David. Well, we've been doing it for 5 years, so gosh, it's kind of hard to break a habit. We enjoy it, and hopefully we make a little dent into the technical aspects of better transmissions on the radio. So 73, David. We'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV, and we are clear.